Alright guys, welcome back to more stuff with Dono. In this video I'm actually going to be talking about the difference between a regular rotor or the Gen 1 to 2 to 3 version of the rotor and then the new R2. So recently I've been actually asked, is it really worth it to get the R2, which I have here. This is the carbon and green one, and then I have a Gen 3 regular rotor. This is wrapped so I can have my epilepsy set up in the near future. So in this video I'm actually going to be talking the difference between the two. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth the extra $100 and some odd to get a brand new R2 opposed to the Gen 3 rotor? So I'm going to be going through the benefits between the two, which one's actually better, which one I would actually prefer, my experiences with both rotors. So here we go. So with this one, this is practically a brand new version 3 rotor. It does have the little unjammer. It comes apart really easily. I'll also be going through in this video on how to take them apart, and even on how to basically load the pods. Okay, so this one I actually have a speed feed. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the Exalt speed feed on there. This one is just the lid for the R2. So when I'm actually using paintball, I prefer the to not have a speed feed, just because sometimes I just find that not all the balls go right through there. As for if I'm using a lid, I can just pop open the lid and it just flows right through. So it's just my personal preference. I'm not playing speedball, unfortunately, so I don't really need to just fill in right quick. Okay, so let's talk about the R2. Let's talk about the version 3 rotor. So this thing it's not the lightest hopper on the market. It's not the lightest hopper on the market. There are the Spire and the Z2 that are a lot lighter, and I can actually feed almost as fast as this, but this is actually a lot more consistent, and I don't know, to me it just looks nice. Without the wrap, it actually feels really nice, like the old school hoppers that you can see. They do have some problems with the reballs going through. I don't use reballs myself, but I have had a few jams going through this rotor, and it is actually just a quick fix. Just grab the end jammer, pull it back. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Other than that, it's actually perfectly fine. Okay, so that's pretty much it about the regular rotor. There is no extension on this one. You can actually buy an extension, which I didn't buy because I don't know, I just found it kind of pointless. So I just wrapped it instead, and I've loved it ever since. So I'm going to put that aside. Now here's the Carbon Carbon R2. Right when I saw this, I had to get it. Absolutely had to get it. I love the carbon look. I love the color green, if you guys can't tell. It just goes so beautifully. Only really minor thing I can really find on this thing is just, I don't know, there's like a little scratch right there. I'm not sure if that was from me. Maybe a paintball hit it and it just kind of scratched it or not, but hopefully you guys can see it through the light. But I don't know, just kind of pisses me off that I've barely even used this thing and it already has a scratch. So yeah, the R2 feels really nice. I'm not sure if every single R2 feels like this, but the carbon definitely does feel really, really nice. And yeah, it's just fantastic. Sorry if I keep on doing the end kind of thing. It's been a while since I did a tech video or a comparison video, so I'm kind of out of it right now. And my throat is really, really dry. I was not prepared for this video at all. So benefits of the R2. It looks really, really nice. It's actually lighter than the standard rotor by like a few ounces. The lid is freaking massive. The mouth here is freaking massive. You can extend it. You can go two ways. You can go the actual extension. It takes a little bit just to extend it, but it's actually not that hard. Or you can bring it back down. It goes back to 200 or 260 if you want to extend it. It's actually really nice. It is pretty quiet. and it does have that nice bright blue light. Something that was actually a new feature about this is that it actually has a ball counter. So I think the first 2 red blinks, it counts that, I don't know, like 100 balls have gone through there or something like that, and then the 3 blinks is 160. I don't know, something like that. But the beeping to me was extremely loud. That is actually a good thing, just because like it notifies the player, but it's actually so loud that other people could possibly hear it and know that you have to reload. So I don't know, I just find that really annoying. And every single time you reload and the blinking stops, you actually have to press this silver button just to restart the counter, which, you know, I don't really blame them, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to keep on having to press that button when you don't really need to. So what was actually a really cool feature about this as well is that you can actually turn that counter off, and it also has a midnight mode or a blackout mode when you can actually turn off the light and the rotor will still keep on spinning. So if you guys really want me to get into that one, how to do that, just let me know in the comments in this video below, and I'll certainly do that for you guys. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a lot fatter than the regular rotor, and it's a lot lower, I gotta say. But the mouth is massive. You can easily pop off the lid very easily. Only real downside to the R-2, and I'll be showing you guys in a minute, is taking this damn thing apart. It's still pretty stiff to me, but the regular rotor is extremely easy. So if you guys have actually seen my previous video, it's the M2 and G-Tech gameplay or shooting, and this guy actually had a problem with his rotor, and there was actually a stick inside the rotor, and that was actually causing it to jam. But I don't know what the hell happened there, but I actually took it apart, took out the stick, and he let me shoot his G-Tech. And thank you very much, Jeff. If you are watching this, thank you very much for letting me use your G-Tech. It was an awesome marker. Really appreciate that, buddy. So yeah, I don't know how that happened, but taking apart the rotor is simple. So that's what I'm going to do first. So here's the rotor. This is actually the exact same rotor that Jeff used at PRZ. And so I'll show you guys how to take it apart. So there's this tab here. Hopefully I don't make this video too long. Tab here, you just lift it up. Hopefully the light can kind of catch all this. Just gonna press my screen there. So yeah, you lift this tab up, you press this button, which is kind of below it, and then you kind of bring the whole entire shell up. I'm trying to do this slow just so, you know, the camera doesn't like constantly shake. So here we go. Here's the upper half. It's still kind of oily just from the paint. So that's just a shell. This is how you get into the lid, how you take it off. There's the 5 screws. You take this whole entire part off, and then you can just take off the lid and put a speed feed, and that's pretty much what I did. Okay, so here's the guts of it. So here's the spring ramp, and in order to actually get to the motor and get to the blades here and the unjammer, you pretty much just have to grab this lip, push it forward, and this back half will pop up. Okay, so that comes out easy. So here's the batteries. It takes 3 AA batteries, and you see these little red tabs. What these do is actually lock this tray into place, so it doesn't, you know, spin out of control on you. So you push those aside, and you can take this part right out. Wow, I really gotta clean this. So this comes all in 4 parts. So here's pretty much the tray, the gears which go below it, the jammer, or I guess the rotor part of it, that's where the balls feed through and in. That's what makes it so consistent. And then the, I want to call this a keeper, but top of the tray. So that's pretty much it there. What actually happened is that with Jeff, his rotor had a stick right here, and I don't know how that happened, but that was actually causing the balls to jam, or the rotor to jam. So Jeff, once again, if you're watching this, this is how you take apart your rotor, because I remember in the video you didn't know how to. and you just try to fit that in. There is this lip here that the tray kind of goes under, and then you just try to fit that in. And the way to make sure that it actually does fit in is that these tabs should be able to go over the tray and lock it all into place. And when you turn it on, it should all spin nice and smooth. So here's the ramp. Once again, there are two lips right here, and you just kind of put it under there and snap it into place. And you just lock those in, push that tab down, press this little back button in order to lift it up. If it doesn't press in, then it's all locked in and your rotor is good to go. So at the very end of this video, I'll do like a really quick, me actually trying to disassemble these as fast as I can. But for now, I'm just going to try to show you guys the difference between taking it all apart. Okay, so here's the R2. So there are two sides to take this apart. There's the 200 to 260 lift up extender, and then there's the way to take it apart. So you slide it this side, and then you just lift right up. It does take a little bit of effort, but once again. So here's the shell. It's not like the regular rotor. You don't have those screws anymore. You can actually just lift the lip up. You press this little black tab down, and then the lid pops right up. Very, very simple. I love it. I love that little upgrade about it. This one here, you have these red tabs again. This actually keeps the green tray all in place. So without those red tabs, that green tray could actually easily pop off, but we don't want that. So you push those red tabs in towards the spring tray, which is the exact same thing that was in the regular rotor. Push those back. Now this is where it gets a pain in the ass. You have to find this little red lever here, push that up, and then you have to grab like these venom claws with your fingers, press these two little buttons in. You'll see it if you can. You'll see it when you actually have an R2. Push those in, and then you have to really play with it to get it out. And if you actually don't do it carefully enough, everything goes everywhere. And that's something I really don't like about it, because you can actually lose parts if you're out on the field or whatever. Even though, you know, they're a lot different. Like the blue, very nice blue. I have to say, I really like the blue. It's completely different. So anyway, yeah. So like it just goes all over the place, and I don't really like that. Okay, so the components here, the exact same thing as your regular rotor. However, I almost put that upside down. However, the only real difference between these, this part here, is that this little tab here, I think it's more for 50 caliber or reball. So yeah, once again, everything is the exact same thing. You can put this in a regular rotor. You can put the regular rotor one in the R2. It doesn't make a difference. If you really like the blue, you can go with the blue. If you really like the red, you can go with the red. Doesn't matter to me. So yeah, so that's all the exact same thing. The guts of the R2, pretty much the exact same thing. The motor is a little bit more down, just more lower profile, so you can actually fit those paintballs in. Here's the tray here with the spring. It is a lot wider, and yeah, so it's basically the exact same thing. And it also takes three AA batteries. So you fit that in, make sure it spins very nice and smooth. It's actually a little bit easier to put in because it's more rounded instead of that just one little piece. Now this part is a little bit tricky again. There's this like little tab here. It has two kind of other tabs just to hold this part in place. And then there's these grooves all the way around the R2. And you actually have to fit these grooves here into there. Sorry, a little bit of pain. I'm very fussy on these things. So yeah, so these grooves have to match into these grooves, and in order to do that, you actually have to kind of squeeze this tray here, like where my thumb and middle finger are, you have to actually kind of squeeze it into there just in order to actually fit it in. So let's try that. So put it into those two tabs. Try to put it in, and then you can actually kind of see it's not all the way in. So you have to just kind of squeeze it in just to try to fit it. Okay, so yeah, that's all the way in now. So then we're back to this little red tab again. See if I can get it so that you guys can see and I can see. So you push that down. Now it's all locked into place. And then you take these red tabs again, push them up just so nothing moves at all. And then this part's simple. It's the exact same thing as a regular rotor, except it's just a little bit different. There's once again these grooves here, which goes into the green tray. Once again, you kind of have to squeeze both of them just in order to get it through. And then when you kind of have that lined up, I try to do both of them at the same time. You kind of have them lined up. You have to. This is why it's so tricky. Get it all lined up. Push this side. Try to fit it in. Once again, I'm kind of squeezing like all on the green tray just to kind of fit it all in. And then you just make sure it's all in there. And voila, it's all in. Okay, so let's kind of compare the mouth of both of them. So side by side, you can obviously kind of tell the R-2 mouth is a lot wider. I do have two pods here. This is the 160 by die, so that, I mean, that's all the way right to the front. You can obviously see that there's tons of room all around there, so there's no way you can actually miss with a pod trying to fill it in. As for with the regular rotor, I mean, it perfectly fits. It's like there's no room whatsoever. So there you go. And then with a standard, I think this is GOG pod. It's a standard 140. So once again, it's all the way forward, still tons of room. And then with the regular rotor, fits perfectly fine. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I've already weighed them in a different video. So, you know what, I'll weigh them again, just for the hell of it. If you guys have watched this video so far, if you guys have actually like stayed this whole entire time watching this video, you guys are freaking awesome, because I probably would not have the patience to watch all this. Okay, so let's do the standard rotor. So that's in pounds, and there are batteries in here. So in pounds, that is 1.356 pounds. So let's just say 1.3 pounds. With the R2, it's 1.290 pounds. So it is a little bit lighter. It is bigger. It holds a lot more paint. Only thing is, it's a pain in the ass to actually take it apart. Okay, so as you guys can see, the regular rotor was actually a little bit faster than doing the R2. The R2 was a huge pain in the ass for me. I really do not like on how fast you can actually maintain it. Doing it out on the speedball field, it would actually be more of a pain in the ass to actually take it apart as opposed to the regular rotor. Maybe it's just I had to get so used to actually taking it apart more, but maybe it just has to be broken in a little bit more. Who knows? It's just, to me, it's a little bit more of a pain in the ass. So, thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys have actually watched throughout this whole entire video, I know it was a long one, but some people have actually requested me that I do a comparison between the regular rotor and the R2 and weigh them and see the differences, and is it really worth it? Me personally, no, not really. It's not actually all that worth it to spend that $300 as opposed to $200 just for an extension that you can get for like 20-30 bucks more, or that bigger mouth, or you know, that counter, that ball counter. So is it really worth it? No, not really. I think I'd rather just take a regular rotor over an R2 any day, unless you really want that nice finish. Like I've seen the Northern Lights one that looks really nice. There's the Rasta one, there's the woody one, the carbon one, the backwoods one. They all look really, really nice. The carbon personally was my favorite, and that's why I got it. But if you're not all into spending a lot of money, then just go with a regular R2 or even the Scion, or a Halo 2, maybe a Z2, whichever one. It's really completely up to you. I just like Dye because they're actually very efficient and consistent with their product. Their rotors are top of the line. Like, I would not choose any Hopper overall. So that's just my personal preference. Tell me in the description below, or not in the description, tell me in the comments below what you guys prefer: the Spire, the Halo 2, the Scion, the Dye rotor, whatever you guys want to put in, the TFX, whatever. I would like to know, and tell me why as well, why you actually like them better, or why they're your personal preference. So once again, thank you guys very much for watching. Subscribe to actually enter the giveaway for the Durham Crew jersey, and become a member of the Durham Crew. You get your custom name, custom number, your own size. I send it right to you. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is just hit that subscribe button. Go on Facebook, search up Stuff with Dono, like my Facebook page. You get another entry, and the longer you guys are actually subscribed to my channel, the more and more entries you actually get in. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.